صباح الخير وأهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا. نجتمع معا لإطلاق برنامجا جديدا ومنهاج تدريبي جديد يختص بقطاع السياحة والضيافة. هذا القطاع هو بمثابة ثروة حقيقية لفلسطين، فلا يوجد لدينا بترول ولا معادن ثمينة، ولسنا على نهر رئيسي، ولم يبقى لدينا أراضٍ زراعية تذكر، لكن يبقى عندنا إرث حضاري إنساني لا مثيل له، حيث من فلسطين جاءت كلمة الله الواحد، ومن هذا المكان تحديدا الكلمة صار جسدا وحل فينا. أنتهز هذه الفرصة لأرحب بضيوفنا الكرام، وأخص بالذكر معالي وزيرة السياحة والآثار السيدة رولا معايعة، أهلا وسهلا، والسيد علي أبو سرور مدير عام وزارة السياحة. كما أرحب بالسيد ديفيد هاردن. A very special welcome to you all, and a special welcome to Mr. David Harden, the Mission Director of USAID. And as we gather here this morning to launch a new, or this afternoon rather, to launch this new training program and a new curriculum for the tourism and hospitality sector, we are ever so grateful for the support of USAID. Not only for helping with supporting this new curriculum, but also for your support in this very important sector, which is the most precious we have in Palestine. We do not have oil, we do not have precious minerals, and we are not on a major river. We hardly have any agricultural land left, but what we do have, and what Palestine gave to humanity, is the word of the one God. And in this very area, the word became flesh and dwelt among us. And the first earthly word we're going to hear comes from our Vice Chancellor, Brother Peter Bray. Would you please come forward?
Thanks, Michelle. Distinguished guests, I won't go through everybody, and ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to welcome you here to Bethlehem University on this occasion, as Michelle has mentioned, to launch the project that was kindly funded by USAID to provide a curriculum for our new program in Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism. What I'd like to do is just to put that in context within the whole sense of Bethlehem University and what we're trying to do with our strategic plan. Because what we're on about here is about knowledge, the advancement, the sharing and the use of that knowledge. And Bethlehem University for over 40 years now, has been committed to serving the Palestinian people through education. We're unashamedly a Catholic university in the Lassallean tradition, and I want to come back to that Lassallean thing later on. But we're not wanting just to provide some courses for people. We're not wanting to train them in some way. What we want to do is to raise to distinction, the people of Palestine by providing a human and Christian education. So we're after excellence. This is what we are driving for. And so how do we do that? Well, we're committed to continually improve and continually ask the question, is there a better way of doing everything that we do here? And what are we trying to do? Why are we doing that? In order to serve the Palestinian people better. And therefore, in terms of the curriculum, we are wanting to review what we are doing and asking that question, to what extent in whatever we are reviewing are we serving the Palestinian people? And we're taking the long view. Bethlehem is being surrounded by settlements, which means in a not too distant future, any expansion outward is going to be limited. So it's going to mean that any development is going to be inward, which means the price of land and of buildings is going to go up. So Bethlehem University had the opportunity to purchase Mount David back in 2012. Now this is about 6 minutes walk from our present campus, and will provide us with the former hospital, the Handel House, and the Salem property. Now, in terms of academics, we have 5 faculties and then 3 institutes that enable us to provide the opportunities for our students to study. And at the master's level, we have currently we have 4 master's programs, and we're exploring the possibility of others as well. For facilities, the education building is opened in 2012. It houses the Faculty of Education, and this building, Millennium Hall, houses the Faculty of Business and the Faculty of Arts. So if you go back to what we have here, that means the units that need improvement facilities are the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism, the Faculty of Science, and the Faculty of Nursing and Health Sciences. But before we do anything about facilities, we need to have a look at what it is that we are teaching. And we need to ask ourselves, is what we're teaching in each of these actually serving the Palestinian people? And one of the important parts of this is consulting locally with people. Back in 2013, in April 2013, we gathered the main players in the hospitality industry. Some of you people who are here now were part of that engagement, and we asked the question, how is Bethlehem University, through the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism, serving the Palestinian people? And we listened to what the local people said. In December of last year, we did exactly the same with the people involved in the science-related industries and asked them that question. We got feedback from them. And we've started with the Faculty of Nursing and Health Sciences already this year, and then in the spring semester of next year. Bethlehem University has the capacity, though, to provide quality service, to provide world-class research. And that's been proven if you go back and have a look at the research that we've done. And above all, impactful research. It's not up in the clouds research, it's a research that has an impact on the lives of the Palestinian people here. And we're very proud of that. But what makes Bethlehem University great? It's not the facilities that we have, the programs that we have. No matter how good the facilities were, no matter how good the programs were, that wouldn't necessarily make Bethlehem University a great university. As I mentioned before, we're a university in the Lassallean tradition, and central to that is the fact that we teach the minds, touch the hearts, and transform the lives of our students. And at the very core of that, at the very core of it, is building relationships. Jean-Baptiste de La Salle, the founder of the Brothers, developed a whole approach to education, which we call Lassallean. And at the very core of that was relationships. And he talks about, and I've adapted this a little bit, that our faculty and staff need to be brothers and sisters to one another. That sort of relationships, not a master-servant or anything like that. And then those people who are brothers and sisters to one another need to be older brothers and sisters to the young people who are entrusted to us. And I love that word. They are entrusted to us. We don't have a right over them. They are entrusted to us, and we have a responsibility towards them. Now, when these young people come onto the campus, I want them to know deep down within themselves that they are safe here, that there are people here who really care about them. And so we talk about that as being an oasis of peace for them. And I think one of the real challenges we have here is to keep hope alive. So Bethlehem University wants to be a beacon of hope. And as an educational institution, we want to be a provider of quality higher education. The very first thing I've pushed for in our redevelopment as part of our strategic plan is the renovation of the library. And I want it to be the intellectual hub of Bethlehem University. And long term, I want every office and every classroom linked back to this resource. We've been very fortunate through USAID and particularly through USHA to get a 1.575 grant towards the 2.9 million that we need for the project. We're well over the $2 million limit now, and we're moving ahead with that in the course of next year. So we will close down the library after the spring semester, and then we'll have the renovations done for the opening of the spring semester in 2016. So we're very grateful to USAID for that. Our focus now, though, is on developing the Mount David property. And the hospitality industry is where we've focused. As people are aware, it's a key element in the Palestinian economy. But I think there is a need for improvement of services. I was just talking to somebody last night who had been out. They had to wait for 2 hours to get served. And that doesn't help in creating opportunities. And I think there's a flow-on effect. If we can create here a level of service where people go away knowing and experiencing being cared for, being well looked after, they're going to talk about it, they're going to come back. And that means if we can get more people coming to be served in this way, then what's going to happen is there's a flow-on effect within the economy. One of the things that came out of the review that we did on the Institute of Hotel Management was the need for vocational training. And through the help of USAID, we had a grant to enable us to develop the modules that we are launching today. And part of that required better facilities. And Bethlehem University has made a significant contribution to the hospitality industry by dedicating the Mount David property to this project. That is, we have committed over $13 million to make sure the hospitality industry can improve. That's a significant contribution on the part of Bethlehem University, and obviously we're looking for people who are going to join us in this partnership. Part of this required us to be involved with the private sector, and certainly the minister and the people in the ministry have been very, very helpful as we've developed this project, and we're very, very grateful to you, Your Excellency, and to the people in the ministry for the way in which we've been able to work together. As a way of keeping contact with the industry and as a way of organising this institute, we're establishing a semi-autonomous board to manage the property and to take responsibility for these vocational programs. And we're fortunate to have Mr. Hani Abadaya as chair of that board, and he will be speaking to you later. One of the things we're very fortunate to have here at Bethlehem University is the Institute of Community Partnership, which has established a network across Palestine. And we're hoping to take advantage of that and make available the programs that we develop in the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism so that people outside Bethlehem and across Palestine can benefit from it. We've been able to tap into the best practices internationally by engaging with other academics in places in other parts of the world. This is what we're hoping it'll look like. These are classrooms here. This is the Handel House, which will be a teaching restaurant and a conference centre. And this is the entrance, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. This is what we hope the restaurant will look like in the heritage house that's there. And then underneath, down here, will be the teaching kitchens. And we want the curriculum to be taught in a very experiential way, rather than sitting and listening to lectures that in the very fact of what they're doing, they will be able to learn. Those of you who have been to the Mount David property, this is the former hospital, and then this is the part of the tower that is part of the Salem property. One initial option that we're looking at is the possibility of turning this into the entrance, to make a grand entrance into the teaching hotel. And these will be the rooms that will be part on each of the floors that we've gone. So this is an overview of where we are what we're doing in the 4 areas: the library renovation, the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism, Faculty of Science, and the Faculty of Nursing and Health Sciences. And other people will focus in much more on the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism. But what we are trying to do, if I can come back to the 3 things we are focusing on, we want to keep hope alive, and we're asking that those of you who can will find ways of enabling us to keep hope alive by enabling this institute down at the Mount David property to be a really iconic place here in Palestine and in this region. Shukran.
Thank you, Brother Peter. May I please invite Her Excellency, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, to the podium.
شكرا ومساء الخير للجميع. حقيقة بسعدني أن أكون معكم اليوم في هذا الصرح العلمي الفلسطيني جامعة بيت لحم، ونحن على أبواب الاحتفالات بأعياد الميلاد المجيدة، حيث أنظار العالم بأجمعه وقلوب المؤمنين تتجه هنا إلى هذا المكان الذي انطلقت منه رسالة المحبة والسلام إلى العالم، والمكان الذي احتضن ميلاد مخلصنا يسوع المسيح، مدينة بيت لحم، والتي ما زالت كسائر مدن فلسطين تعاني من استمرار الحصار والاحتلال وجدار الضم والتوسع الذي عزلها لأول مرة في التاريخ عن توأمها القدس. نلتقي اليوم هنا لنحتفل بإطلاق برنامج التدريب المهني لقطاع الضيافة، والذي سجلت جامعة بيت لحم السبق كأول مؤسسة تعليمية في فلسطين تبادر بتطوير مناهجها التعليمية في قطاع السياحة والضيافة، وذلك من خلال دعم الوكالة الأمريكية للتنمية الدولية USAID وبمشاركة خبراء دوليين من أمريكا وغيرها ومحليين ساهموا وعملوا على إعداد برامج ومناهج حديثة ومتطورة وعصرية قادرة على إيصال الرسالة التعليمية والنهوض بمستوى التعليم السياحي في فلسطين، هذا بالإضافة إلى ضمان تسليح طلابنا بالعلم والمعرفة والخبرة والتدريب الكافي للنجاح بعملهم ومستقبلهم. فكل الاحترام والشكر لهذه المبادرة. والآن عن السياحة، يعني بملخص عن العام 2014. طبعا لقد وصلت صناعة السياحة في فلسطين في العام 2014 عملية النمو والازدهار، من حيث استمرار التصاعد في أعداد السياح والزوار والوافدين، وكذلك ليالي المبيت. وقد سجلت الإحصائيات ارتفاع كبير في النصف الأول، وهنا أشدد النصف الأول من هذا العام، حيث توقف هذا التصاعد وهذا الازدهار مع اندلاع العدوان على شعبنا الفلسطيني مطلع تموز، وتراجعت الحركة السياحية بشكل كبير خلال العدوان، وتم إلغاء عدد كبير من الحجوزات، إلا أن السياحة بدأت تسترد عافيتها رويدا رويدا بعد انتهاء الأعمال العدوانية العسكرية الإسرائيلية، حيث أن الوزارة وبالشراكة مع القطاع السياحي الخاص عملت على إرجاع الوضع السياحي السابق من خلال تنفيذ البرامج والفعاليات والمشاركات في المحافل والمعارض السياحية بهدف الترويج للسياحة الفلسطينية، كذلك المشاركة بوفود مشتركة مع القطاع السياحي الفلسطيني الخاص للتشبيك بينه وبين وكالات السياحة العالمية لتسويق برامج سياحية فلسطينية بحتة والترويج لفلسطين كمقصد سياحي مستقل وآمن. وفي مجمل الإحصائيات للعام 2014 نرى أن هناك زيادة في نسب الإقامة في فلسطين بالرغم من كل ما حصل في عام 2014 بنسبة 9.2%، ونقص بنسبة 3.6% بالنسبة لأعداد الزوار الذين زاروا فلسطين. في الختام أكرر شكري لجامعة بيت لحم التي تربطنا معها علاقة شراكة استراتيجية عريقة، وكذلك شكري للوكالة الأمريكية للتنمية الدولية USAID لمساهمتها الفاعلة والكبيرة من خلال الشراكة معنا لتطوير القطاع السياحي في فلسطين والنهوض به. والشكر موصول أيضا للخبراء والأكاديميين الذين شاركوا بإعداد هذه المناهج. شكرا.
شكرا معالي الوزيرة. I invite Mr. David Harden now to launch the new website for this project, which also includes a video for the training program. Okay. But first, your word, Mr. Harden.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Minister, it's good to see you here again today. We worked together quite a bit. A few months ago, right after the Gazan war, we had a meal and a conversation up in Sebastia, and we were discussing whether or not tourism for 2014 could be pulled out and if we could still save the season. And the fact of the matter is, the season for 2014 has been saved. The numbers are good. As you mentioned, the overnights are up by 10%. And that's a testament to you all, because it was a tough year. It was a tough year, and yet the Palestinian tourism sector remained strong. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership. Brother Peter, I am a product of Catholic education, so it is always important and meaningful for me to come back to Bethlehem University. It reaffirms my values. Thank you for your partnership. You know that you're doing something right when you could tell your mother what you did today, and your mother would be proud. So I know that my mother would be proud today to know that I'm here with you at Bethlehem University, trying to help the Palestinian people and help create economic opportunity. Yesterday, Adventure Travel listed the West Bank as the 4th hottest destination point in the world. So if you're cool, you're hip, and you want adventure, this is the place to come. You don't have to believe me. You can read it in Adventure Travel. Recently, also National Geographic, if I understand it right, listed here as one of the top 10 interesting, exciting places to be as well. So obviously, Bethlehem has everything going for it. I would add just one other point. It's not just the adventure. It's not just the chance to run the Bethlehem Marathon on March 27th, or to hike Ibrahim's Trail, or to do wall climbing in Ramallah, outside of Ramallah. It's also culture and hospitality and food and dance and art and music. That is a driving force for Palestinian economic opportunity, and it is something the Palestinians should not forget. The Palestinians are cool. If you are in New York or San Francisco, Paris or London, you will know that the Palestinians are hip and cool, and this is an opportunity for everybody here in this room. Now, the hospitality makes it important. The hospitality brings it home. The hospitality makes people want to come back and spend more money. And that's what we're here for, because we do love the notion of hope and partnership and connectivity, but at the end of the day, what matters for us in our metrics is that there are there's more tourists, that there are more overnights, that there are more revenue, that there are more opportunity. That's the bottom line. And we tested this assumption several times. Last Christmas, I charged our team. I said, you got $300,000. Your job is to create economic opportunity in Bethlehem, and I want you just to bring in 1,000 more people every day, spending $100 more for 50 days. That's a $5 million infusion into the economy. You have $300,000. Make it happen. Go. The result, they brought $6 million into the economy. They increased overnights dramatically. Last year was a record year. This year is a tough year, but we're going to do okay. We, every day, every month, every week, every month, we have to bear down so that the tourists have an extraordinary, exciting chance to know the Palestinian people, to experience Palestinian culture. This is a competitive environment. I just said to the minister, you're now competing with Havana. The U.S. just recognized Cuba, and there's going to be tourists that want to go to Cuba. And it's going to be an exciting experience for them. So this is a global competitive marketplace, and you have a lot on your side. I would love to be an investor in the Palestinian experience because it's here. You have almost all the elements. And this, Brother Peter, will help bring that home better. So at the end of the day, it is about hope. It is about opportunity, but it's also about Palestinian culture and dignity and future. We are pleased to be your partner. We just want more people to have more opportunity to experience what I experience every day. Thank you very much. And I think I have to launch something right now. Wait. Okay, while we're waiting, let me just tell you one other quick story. So Johnny Bessus was a top chef. He happened to be from Bethlehem. He left. He went to bigger markets elsewhere. He went to Nazareth, he went to Israel. He thought he could make his mark elsewhere, and you know what he did? He came back. He came back and he served a meal to the President of the United States of America. That's Bethlehem talent. He came back. And we're going to launch this thing. Are we ready?
After the music.
After the music. I'm not entirely sure this is working right. Okay. There we go. All right, great.
تنبع أهمية السياحة في فلسطين كونها الأراضي المقدسة، وهي بالتالي محط أنظار واهتمام أتباع الديانات السماوية الثلاث.
السياحة تشكل جوهر الاقتصاد الفلسطيني. قطاع السياحة وخاصة الفنادق هو قطاع واعد. هناك نمو في هذا الموضوع. احنا الآن بنعمل في خطين متوازيين. الخط الأول هو تشجيع الاستثمار في هذا المجال، والخط الثاني اللي هو تقديم خدمة بجودة أفضل منافسة في العالم في هذا الموضوع.
From our experience and from our engagement with people, tourists' experience in Palestine at times is marginal in the sense that they don't feel that they're well looked after. And our engagement with local businesses, with the ministry and with people in the industry is that there were gaps in what was needed. And so one of the things that we decided to do was to step back and say, well, what's a way in which Bethlehem University can fill those gaps?
ومن خلال تواصلنا مع جمعية الفنادق العربية وبحثنا عن مدى حاجة السوق الفلسطيني للكوادر المؤهلة، استنتجنا أن السوق الفلسطيني بحاجة ماسة وسريعة لتأهيل وتدريب الموظفين العاملين في قطاع الفندقة.
في مستوى الشق الأكاديمي احنا تبين أنه هناك ضعف في التدريب. لهذا السبب احنا كنا طلبنا من الجامعات والمؤسسات اللي بتدرس أنه يجب إعطاء أهمية كبرى للتدريب حتى تتميز جامعة بثلحم في هذا المجال وظلها متميزة. يجب الحصول على المعلومات والخبرات الجديدة اللي موجودة الآن في العالم.
What we are looking at is providing a training and a background for people in the hospitality industry. Up to the present, our bachelor's degree and our diplomas in the Institute have been academic in many ways. So this is a move towards a more vocational training. And so we will have credentialed programs, high quality programs, but programs where the focus is on the student, so that the students are the ones that are doing the learning, not the teachers. And so what we want to do is to introduce a different way in which people are learning, an experiential way, so that through the activities that they're doing in class, they learn that way rather than just memorizing things. Because we want a different approach to teaching, that the teachers who are going to teach those modules need an introduction to a different way of teaching. The next step after that is the difficult one, is that we want to move our Institute of Hotel Management down to Mount David. What we want at Mount David is to have the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism there, to have facilities for teaching, but then to have a teaching hotel there and a teaching restaurant there.
سيقدم المشروع تدريب في مجال فنون الطهي، ولمسنا حاجة متنامية لدى أصحاب الفنادق في فلسطين لهذا التخصص، فأعددنا برنامج مكون من 8 وحدات نمطية تعالج فنون الطهي على أعلى المستويات العالمية. كما لدينا برنامج يلبي احتياجات مرافق أقسام الاستقبال في الفنادق، فأعددنا برنامج من 5 وحدات نمطية يغطي من الألف إلى الياء في فنون الاستقبال والحجوزات الفندقية. ولدينا برنامج آخر بالنسبة لإدارة المطاعم وفنون المائدة، وهذا كما تعلمون علم متخصص، وبالتالي أعددنا برنامج بالتعاون مع جامعة دولاسال بالفلبين مكون من تقريبا 7 وحدات نمطية يلبي جميع متطلبات هذا القطاع. كما أن خلقنا شراكة مع الصناعة الفندقية، وبذلك بالتعاون مع الموظفين المؤهلين في الفنادق من مدراء أقسام ومدراء دوائر، بحيث أن نقل خبرة العاملين في قطاع الفندقة إلى مرافق التدريب ومشاركة خبرتهم مع الطلبات سوف يكون لها مردود إيجابي على رفعة صناعة الفندقة في فلسطين. كما يهدف هذا المشروع إلى إعادة تأهيل وتدريب الموظفين العاملين في الفنادق الفلسطينية، ونحن نتكلم عن جميع محافظات الوطن، فلدينا طاقم مدرب ومؤهل للتواصل مع كافة أجزاء الوطن، ولدينا الاستعداد لنقل الخبرات والتدريب إلى المواقع الفندقية المختلفة، وليس بالضرورة فقط في جامعة بيتلحم. الضيافة ليست بشيء جديد على المجتمع الفلسطيني، فالضيافة متجذرة في تراثنا، ونحن بطبيعتنا شعب مضياف، ولكن ما ينقصنا هو رفع وتطوير هذه الضيافة لتتناسب مع مستوى الضيافة الفندقية المتعارف عليها دوليا.
So what we want is that when people leave here after having spent time in Palestine, that they go away feeling that they were well cared for, that people were concerned about them, and that the service and the quality of their experience was top class.
مما لا شك فيه بأن هذا سيساهم بتطوير الاقتصاد السياحي الفلسطيني من خلال زيادة نسبة العملات الأجنبية المحصلة من هذا القطاع، كما أنه سيوفر فرص عمل ويساهم مساهمة مباشرة في تخفيض البطالة في فلسطين.
Mr. Harden, you mentioned National Geographic. In its 1943 edition, according to my father, it's not me, I don't go back that long, Palestine was listed as among the healthiest places on earth, especially the area between Ramallah and Hebron, meaning Jerusalem and Bethlehem. And I remember as a child I've always heard the word, we say it in Arabic, Hawa al-Quds, the breeze of Jerusalem. But I wonder how Palestine would fare now, given all the clutter and mess that exists currently between Ramallah and Hebron. Anyway, going back to reality, I call upon Dr. Irene Hazu, our academic vice president, for her word.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be here today at this landmark occasion to launch the newly developed curriculum for vocational training in the hospitality industry and the accompanying Train the Trainer's Handbook, and to thank all those, among them USAID, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, and all those locally and internationally who have worked with us and supported us in this accomplishment, that we hope will enrich the tourism and hospitality industry, which is the backbone of our Palestinian economy. Since its establishment, Bethlehem University strives to play a significant role and contribute to the development of Palestine by providing quality higher education to its young people. In choosing its programs, Bethlehem University is sensitive to the immediate and changing needs of the country and plans its programs to focus on those professions that serve to improve the quality of life of the people here. We cover diverse fields of study that we deliver through our 5 faculties: arts, science, business administration, education, nursing, and the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism. The core mission of Bethlehem University rests on 3 main pillars: teaching, research, and community service. Consistent with the university's mission and vision, the academic office, supported by faculties and departments, are committed to deliver high-quality undergraduate and graduate programs to provide an environment conducive to a rich student experience. We strive for quality in all our academic programs, excellence in our teaching that is informed by scholarship and research. At Bethlehem University, we see ourselves a community of scholarship and teaching dedicated to developing the full potential of our students by adopting the liberal education approach to the curriculum and by equipping them with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes for lifelong learning. For the delivery of our programs and the achievement of our core mission, Bethlehem University depends on a dedicated team of highly qualified and committed faculty. In collaboration with its local and international partners, Bethlehem University keeps abreast with developments in the disciplines, with new paradigms in higher education, and with changing modalities in teaching and learning, to guide the growth and development of high-quality academic programs to achieve outstanding student learning outcomes. To ensure continuous improvement and development, our programs undergo regular revision and assessment to ensure their relevance and effectiveness in delivering their objectives. Our programs are also recognized and fully accredited by the Accreditation and Quality Assurance Commission under the Ministry of Education and Higher Education. Our graduates make important contributions to the professions and communities, and many of them rose to significant positions in Palestine and abroad, whether in educational institutions, healthcare setting, hospitality sector, governmental and non-governmental organizations. We have used our strengths and resources to help build Palestine's workforce and develop and improve the local industries by providing them with qualified graduates, and also through community outreach programs of the Institute of Community Partnership. Bethlehem University's commitment to serving the Palestinian society is best manifest in BU's realization very early on of the important role that the tourism and hospitality industry plays and will continue to play in building the economy of Palestine. Bethlehem University responded to this realization by introducing a diploma program in hotel management and tourism studies from the first day of its establishment in 1973. For decades, it was the only such institute in Palestine to offer this type of training. Since then, its programs have developed to include more academic programs with the introduction of the bachelor degree in hotel management and more recently, actually this year, the master's degree in tourism studies. Bethlehem University is considered a leader in Palestine tourism and hospitality studies, as well as other scholarly and professional areas. As you are witnessing today, we have decided to invest further in our strengths through an ambitious project to enhance the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism. The developments we are foreseeing will significantly change the way we do things here. With the support and collaboration from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, and the Ministry of Education and Higher Education, and the industry itself, these developments will take us and the tourism industry to new realms and open up new opportunities maybe unseen for us today. Through these long-term strategic partnerships with the community and the industry, we will be actively engaged in assisting to resolve its most pressing problems in providing a skilled workforce. These partnerships should significantly improve institutional and organizational performance through the implementation of research-based practice and publication of research that is widely disseminated and generates significant influence nationally on future professional practice. We will hear shortly from our Dean of Research, Professor Jamil, about the role of that research can play in promoting the industry. Notions about students' preparedness for employability, career development, and entrepreneurship are being gradually integrated into classroom teaching so that students leave the university with the technical, academic, and soft skills that employees require, giving them a better chance of being employed. Central to this approach is the role of the employer and business in collaborating with the university to ensure that courses and programs are related to the labor market and to the specific needs of employers in various industries. Hence, in aspiring to be the leading training center in Palestine for the hospitality industry, we need to be confident that we deliver a full range of training programs that suit all aspects of the industry. The programs will range from the vocational training, as you see today, for the basic entry-level skills to the more sophisticated managerial skills to the policy-making skills based on evidence-based research. A major shift from what we already have been doing is emphasis on experiential learning or action-based learning, which offers students the chance to develop the skills they need to operate effectively through active rather than passive learning. The range of vocational training modules whose launching we celebrate today were developed with this underlying experiential pedagogy as its distinctive feature. Our academic programs have been revised to incorporate this pedagogy. I think Ms. Nabil will probably elaborate on this. The purchase of the Mount David property offers us a unique opportunity to secure state-of-the-art facilities to house the Enhanced Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism, to be able to deliver the new and revised curricula. Our faculty will be trained in this new approach, and today we also launched the Train the Trainer's Handbook that will accompany the new modules. Our Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning will play a vital role in providing the necessary support for the faculty to further develop their teaching skills. It is our aim that these modules that were developed through the contribution of local and international experts, supported by state-of-the-art facilities and highly trained faculty, that they be packaged into a number of professional diploma programs that can receive full accreditation from the local relevant authorities. As you see, we are living through exciting times. We are really very excited about this new development in Bethlehem University, and we look forward to see it to come to full fruition soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Irene. We are very fortunate to have among us at Bethlehem University a distinguished professor and a man of letters. He is our Dean of Research, Professor Jamil Khadir.
Research is the mother of all development, said the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. And the mission of the Deanship of Research at the Bethlehem University is to promote excellence in research and to cultivate a thriving culture in support of the university's calling in serving the needs of Palestinian people and humanity. In this increasingly expanding information and electronic era of our global world, research at Bethlehem University continues to be called on to play a vital public role in producing and advancing new knowledge that can respond creatively to the changing needs of Palestinian society. Research at BU will also be significantly contribute to the economic stability and prosperity in the future independent Palestinian state. Nowhere has BU's commitment to the economic stability and prosperity of Palestinian society been more evident than in the tourism sector, and more specifically, the religious and pilgrimage tourism industry. According to experts in the field, and we heard different statistics from our various speakers, one of the pilgrimage travel, whether faith-based or non-faith-based, is one of the fastest growing segments in the tourism sector today. Its volume is estimated at $18 billion and boasting 300 million travelers strong a year. It is also estimated that this market might well double by the year 2020. The Institute of Hotel Management provides a major site for investing in the research and the development of these global trends in religious and pilgrimage tourism. Through collaborative partnerships with the public and private sectors in Palestine, the Mount David campus will encourage innovation in these new industries and provide the scientifically trained personnel needed to operate them. This will make it possible for researchers and faculty to explore viable ways to enhance the local economy, ensure sustained growth in revenues. It will also promote the development of sustainable tourism in order to minimize tourism's environmental impact and to maximize the overall socioeconomic benefits at touristic destinations. Moreover, research can help open up new spaces and sites for the development of the tourism industry by capitalizing on the unique richness and complexity of Palestinian life and culture. Palestine has the potential for carving out for itself a special place in the third generation of tourism studies, what is usually called now creative tourism. Many tourists nowadays seek destinations where they can participate in the daily lives of the local communities, in the squares, so to speak, and connect with the particular cultural expressions of these communities. To this extent, the Institute will collaborate with the newly established Palestinian Museum of Natural History at Mar Andria. To ensure that Palestinian culture is central to the training that takes place and to facilitate the joint creation and sharing of knowledge between the university, the Ministry of Tourism, and the private and public sectors, the Institute has established an e-research portal. You probably saw it before when David launched the site. This portal serves as a central location or hub for new and experienced researchers, postgraduate researchers, and other students from different institutions, academic disciplines, and national backgrounds in Palestine and around the world. Through this e-research portal, researchers can play an active role in the formation of policy within the public and private sectors that work to support research interests in the areas of cultural tourism, the burgeoning field of religious and pilgrimage studies, and creative tourism. It is also hoped that this portal will strengthen the Ministry of Tourism's policies and industry standards that support the development of different types of tourism in Palestine. Various UNESCO reports have warned that a low level of investment in R&D, research and development, remains the Achilles heel of innovation and development policies in the Global South. Nonetheless, as far as BU's Institute is concerned, substantially higher private investments in R&D, along with more and better public sector support, can boost the Institute's role in developing promising strategies and securing a stable and prosperous economic future for Palestine.
Together with Syria and Lebanon, Palestine has the best cuisine in the Middle East. Unfortunately, the tourists and pilgrims who come here do not savor our cuisine, do not savor our food. Perhaps, and also we are very far from being world-class standards in service, but perhaps we can do something about that, and this is why I invite Mr. Hani Abu Daye and Mr. Nabil Al-Mufdi to talk about the new curriculum. Please come forth.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The tourism sector in its widest sense is one of the key economic sectors in Palestine. It is recognized that from an economic development perspective, skills play a crucial role in determining the potential success and impact of the wider tourism sector on the Palestinian economy. The presence of a strong skills development infrastructure to support the development of a robust skills base will be a crucial success factor in areas such as development of skills required to deliver a high-quality service culture, product and service innovation and development, leadership and management development, and providing a pipeline of new entrants to the sector. As Brother Peter Bray mentioned earlier, in April 2013, Bethlehem University organized a 3-day workshop with the overarching objective of conducting a primary research with industry stakeholders to identify the training development and skills requirement of employers. This workshop was conducted by the Dean of the Faculty of Hotel Management at Johnson & Wales University and assisted by the Dean of the Culinary Arts School also at Johnson & Wales University, and the Dean of the Hotel School at our sister university in De La Salle, St. Benil, Manila. Through this workshop, stakeholders made a number of comments regarding shortcomings around quality and availability of good food and beverage restaurant provision, tour operators' perception that existing quality standards of accommodation are too low in a market that is demanding higher standards, value for money issues, and last but not least, I would say customer service and staff skills. In this regard, the Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism, with the generous support of USAID, is launching today the vocational training program to provide tertiary level skills in hospitality management. The program aims at producing highly trained professionals in all aspects of hospitality, emphasizing student-centered learning approach in which the main training characteristics include combinations of action-based learning, project-oriented, work-based, and corporate learning. The model approach will be used in delivery. After completion of the trainings, the trainees should be equipped with competencies in planning, development of hotels, and other hospitality establishments. Training in the Department of Hotel Management at Bethlehem University emphasizes practical work, in-house training, and industrial attachments. In-service hotel employees and newcomers to the industry are eligible to enroll in any of these training modules. At this stage, we are in the process of rolling out this program in Palestine. We have started discussions with the municipality of Nablus to start offering these training modules in their newly established training hotel school. We have also established contact with Lead International, an NGO engaged in offering training programs in Ramallah, to start offering these training modules also in Ramallah. We hope also in the near future we'll be able to provide these modules also in Gaza. For this training to achieve optimal results, training of trainers is crucial. We are in the process of sending 4 trainers to Manila to be trained on how people learn, the learning process, how trainers develop, the communications process, training methods and training styles, motivation and training, visual aids and computers in training, assignment portfolios, and other issues related to proper training. Allow me, before I take longer, to introduce what we have developed together with international experts in the field of hospitality management. We have developed وين المودلز وين الهوتيل تريننج ايوه we have developed 5 clusters, one dealing with front office management, and that's taking the trainees in the 4 stages or the 4 cycles of front office, that is from the pre-arrival stage to the registration stage to the in-house services, and there we are stressing a lot on customer service, on interpersonal skills, and on customer satisfaction. We have developed another important cluster, which is a very important one, as we are still suffering from lowered levels of sanitation and hygiene in our food and beverage operations. So we have developed 3 modules on food safety, and also embedding the HACCP regulations within this program. We have developed 4 modules in food and beverage services, and that's taking the trainees in all the stages of food and beverage, restaurant management, and all the styles of services, from the introductory level to the advanced level. And the last module is, the last cluster is in culinary arts, and this is taking the trainees into the food science, basically, and into the art of producing attractive, presentable, and good quality food. Also, we are stressing within this cluster to highlight the Palestinian cultural heritage in culinary art, and there is a specific module that deals with Palestinian culinary art. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am delighted to be with you today to lay the virtual foundation stone for the new vision for the human resource education and training in the field of tourism in Palestine. As we all know and have been mentioned by several speakers, the economic future of Palestine will be based on services led by tourism. What we have here is a very special form of tourism that has proven its sustainability from time immemorial. What is the contemplated grand vision for our human resource training and skill upgrading in the field of tourism? Our hope is that BU, which was the first to establish tourism education and training, will also lead by having the campus on Mount David develop into a Palestinian iconic hub in the field of tourism education and training, with satellites in the main tourism cities which have been mentioned by our friend Ramallah, Nablus, and in Gaza. And also to establish a new Palestinian developed curriculum for training and academic education that is regionally and internationally recognized. Our task here is twofold. It has a dual approach. The first is educating and vocational training in our iconic teaching hotel and teaching restaurant on Mount David, which you have been shown. Second approach is in cooperation with the Bethlehem University Institute of Community Partnership. We hope to reach out to hotels and restaurants to undertake skill upgradings and training in situ. It will be set up in such a way that the employee within the hotel or the restaurant can acquire a recognized course credit equivalency at Bethlehem University. And if the employee can see a career as well as an academic path, and he wants to pursue his education further at BU or any regionally or international trainings program in the field of hospitality, his earned on-the-job academic credits will be recognized. The second point that was raised by the university is how does BU organize itself to meet these challenges? We are a developing country, and any development plan for it to succeed is like a table with 4 legs. The first leg is the public sector. We at BU are in constant consultation with the concerned public sector, and mainly with our Palestinian Ministry of Tourism, sharing with them our ideas and plans and listening to them about their vision and concerns. Second leg is the private sector. Our whole approach to our training program has been developed after intense consultation with the Palestinian private sector. The tourism field will always be a private sector-led industry. They will determine the needed training profiles. Bethlehem University recognizes this, and they have approached me as a private sector person to lead an interim board for our Institute of Tourism Training. On the board, we also have two key people from the Palestinian hotel sector and the other one from the tour operator sector. Third leg, and a very important leg, is the academic university and the vocational training center. For us to succeed, we need not only to educate and train, but also to undertake a serious academic research that can help the public sector and private sector to meet the goals of their development plans. To this end, we at Bethlehem University have an established research center to help steer our academic staff and students to help hone their research skills for the benefit of our tourism development. Fourth, and very important fourth leg, is the importance of civil society. An active civil society is extremely important to take care of the common good. Anytime the public sector, from my experience, from what I see, and the private sector come together in this world without an active civil society, they tend to corrupt each other. It seems to me in the Middle East, people seek political power to get to the money. In the West, the private sector tries to buy its way to political power. What is it in our case that we have to protect and make sure that our development in tourism does take into consideration the common good at all times? As I mentioned before, our tourism product is unique. It is heavily dependent on religious tourism. In other papers I have written, I have always forewarned about uncontrolled development in tourism, and that I am against developing the type of tourism that has no respect to our culture and our religious traditions. So what civil society can help us maintain the quality of our tourism product and its religious and spiritual content, and in a way we serve our pilgrims. We are uniquely different here than any other parts of the world. We have on the ground historical presence of religious bodies who are not only guardians of some of the most important holy sites, but also can act as guardians to the type of and style of tourism development that will enhance the development of the type of tourism that has been with us for thousands of years. Within their institutional framework, they have also services for pilgrims in terms not only of the important sites of religious importance, but they have also a main focus involved in the field of hospitality and in religious guiding. Here, they not only act as religious guardians, but also as very important private sector that we cannot afford to ignore. We are delighted to have with us on board as strategic partners the Franciscans, who we all know exactly their role in the Holy Land, historical role in the Holy Land. We have the Legionnaires with us who are responsible for the Notre Dame, but have also a training center, and at the iconic development up in Magdala, and last but not least, the German Friends of the Holy Land. This interim board can also serve another purpose, a very important purpose, and it can act as a unique and a very important platform for the religious institutions to meet with the private sector to share the mutual concerns. At this juncture of our development, we are thankful for USAID for helping us to bring about the grand vision for the Palestinian tourism development. I am delighted to know from several key personnel within the United States government that tourism does fall under the mandate of USAID to the Palestinian people. The U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, in his talk about the U.S. assistance to the development of the Palestinian economy, put tourism on top of his sectorial list. Last but not least, we are also happy to know that we also fall under the mandate of soft diplomacy that is initiated by the previous Secretary of State, Mrs. Hillary Clinton. The established diplomatic culinary partnerships initiative builds on Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton's vision of smart power diplomacy, which embraces the use of full range of diplomatic tools by utilizing food, hospitality, and the dining experience as ways to enhance how formal diplomacy is conducted, cultivating cultural understanding and strengthening bilateral relationships through this shared experience of food. I think that what we have here is a Catholic wedding without the qualification until death do us apart. In perpetuity, we always hope to be able to address the American people and government for assistance when and if we need it. And in perpetuity, we will always hope that, and we always hope and will be delighted to be the perfect welcoming host for the American tourists and pilgrims when they come to us. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Abudayi. And now for the coup de grâce, the presentation of our chef-d'œuvre, the culmination of months of hard work. I'm going to invite Brother Peter Bray to present the long-awaited curriculum to Mr. David Harvey. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all invited for a reception at our Institute of Hotel Management. Perhaps we can savor also some of the things that we've been talking about.